As most of you who follow this channel, you probably already know that I'm not a religious person. Of course, I used to be, but not being one for a long time ago. So, um, but I would say sometimes I know on some of my videos, there was a few, not necessarily some. There are some that where I pointed out a few things that I find about religion. You could say maybe Christian religion, kind of pissed me off. Didn't make sense to me. Sometimes I say the reason why a few of those things pissed me off because I couldn't believe that people actually didn't actually see that these things did not make sense. So I was kind of, how come I'm kind of the only person, who could see that? I mean, these they do not make sense yet, you know. But that still didn't make me from saying, "Hey, don't be a Christian or a religious person." Um, so on the other hand, secularism, we should say secular world. Um, as much as I'm not for it, like I know I encourage people to be a secular person, even though objectively we live in secular world. I'm talking about even here in Nigeria. It has automatically become a secular society. Much as most people claim that it's still a religious society, but I don't think so anymore. So, well, yeah, I could still debate on that. Some percentage of our life could still say religious. I mean, generally in Nigeria, but in Nigeria is no longer a religious country. When you look at what's going on, or it's actually shifting away completely from religious society. Much as majority actually claim to be religious. So, but when you look at secular world that we live in today, yeah, of course, there are quite a number of things. For me, I would say, yeah, I benefit from the secular world, secularism. Yeah, yeah. Which one will I? Trying to look for an example. Um, you could say, but I don't want to say technology because religion um wouldn't really say no to science, but it would not allow some science to grow because that might be a threat to religious principle. So in a way, you could say, yeah, secularism promotes growth of science, but doesn't necessarily mean there won't be any science at all to if the society completely turns to religion. No, there will. I mean, even during the what we call, is it what's it called? Is it Dark Ages? I can't. I'm trying to remember the era when the religion was actually, uh, especially in the West anyway, not like here. You know, the leadership of the world or the Western world. Um, you could say, yeah. I mean, they had to invent weapons to protect themselves. They have metaphysical. No, okay, no, not that. Uh, Philosophy. At that time, philosophy was also you could say it's not a science, but it's actually kind of a science. So I'll call it social science. But yeah, because it kind of explore your mind. Look. Yeah, I'll tell you. Trust me, philosophy is a science, but not the kind of science like um that you could actually because even philosophy actually look at objective reality. Trying to use that to uh you know put your mind to critically look at things. That's what philosophy does, rather than just you know being just a follower without just critical mind. It just makes you make use of a critical mind. That's why I say what philosophy does. At least even at that time, that's what. In fact, at that time, I knew um, religion then opposed it based on some of the texts that I've seen, read, oppose it. I mean, people like Socrates and the rest, they oppose some of their teachings. So, but back to what I was talking about, secularism. So, yeah, there are a few things I could say I benefited, but not uh, as if in a religious society that I say will not benefit such, but maybe not at an extent of how what I benefited or see benefiting so far. Yeah, a few things. I mean, there are a lot. I mean, talking about corporate world, it's secularism that created corporate world, which I'm directly benefiting from as well. So, just giving out example. Now, now when you look at both and say which is one is good for a society, you look at religion. You say religion did a lot of things at the time. Okay, when we talk about religion, let's just limit it. Let's not limit it only to Christianity. You could look at let's bring it to Africa. As an Igbo man, I know uh, my history to a very large extent. What I'm saying is culture, because culture teaches you your history or a history of of a society. It's culture that will tell you exactly how it was, because culture carries history along, which the parents or the society impacts on the ones replacing the culture, the basically replacing. When I mean those replacing, I'm talking about the younger ones. They, as you are bearing children, they replace you. So basically, you impact those cultures on them to carry it along. Stories are told, and this and that. And also, there are some physical things that actually relate to those stories you hear. That's why when you get to some local area, you see ancient homes and the stuffs like actually relate to those stories that you gathered or you know you are trained into. So when you come to like an Igbo land, when you look at then, yeah, there was a religion. People make these days make it look as if religion was something that just came when the white men visited Africa. No, there's been religion. Um, it's just that the ours were named. Um, what was it even? I try to remember the name. Paganism. Yeah. So paganism. I'm not saying it's only Africa that practice paganism, but remember then, if it's not religion that recognizes um, the one God, um, because I mean even Islamic religion also recognize only one God. So Christianity does the same. Because the other religion, Buddhism, the real Judaism, and the rest. There's so many probably I might not even know of. But I'm saying like here, there's a religion in Igbo land at that time, before we even met white men. So yeah, the belief of our religion then was, we have many gods, you know. So point is when you look at the religion, not just Christianity, yeah, we did some things. There are a lot of restrictions then, and some things I would say, okay, maybe it went too far. Religion went too far on the society on this. Like in Igbo land, um, was there a time uh, twins were regarded as abomination. I can't really say. So even though some people always want to claim, but then I know there's something we call banje, when which most likely could be, is it blood group or genotype? Trying to remember. Where if two parents who have maybe AS, and they both AS, and they get married, they keep bearing like SS children. The childs keep dying at infant, those child, so they'll be regarded that, oh, these are obanje, people that keep reincarnating, suffering their parents. So because there was no science to explain these things, so um so they gave it that bad name. Of course, it's not it's not good for parents to be experiencing that kind of thing. And some other things that were done in the bad, okay, this is not actually like religion, this is something bad, but I'm saying there are some things, in Igbo land, that was done in the name of religion, that I would say, yeah, was too far. And likewise, every other religion, Islamic, Christianity, and the rest. As much as those things are not that good, but when you compare to the secular world, I would say religion uh, is better, having a religious society or the religion taking over. I don't necessarily have to be, because one thing I know for sure, I will tell you this: religion doesn't. Women may not agree to this because it will affect them directly, but religion doesn't prevent a man not to participate in it. The only thing it will do is um, you will, I say, ostracize. Yes, you might participate. For example, if Igbo land is still, let's assume Christianity did not come, I will continue with paganism in the east, as in the Igbo land. Sure, of course, I will continue in that religion. But for example, if I choose not to get married, nobody will say, no, according to the paganism, you must. You won't be mandated. But the only thing is, you will not have honor. So yeah, religion, like I say, it has all those things. We won't have honor. You should also act, because it's also a traditional expectation from you as a man. So, but at that time, the culture and religion were kind of intertwined. In fact, at a point, you could also say at that time, religion kind of interprets the culture, or dictates how the culture goes, or what is even acceptable as a culture at that time in Igbo land. You know, you seek opinion of the gods from the chief priests, in the oracles. So those are the tenets of religion. So my point is, even as I am as a man, as an Igbo man, and let's assume paganism was the order of the day in the Igbo land up till now, and I'm there. Yeah, I can choose not to get married. However, I will not have kind of yeah, I won't get chieftaincy title, obviously. you know of course, I'll be made fun of by other men, obviously, like, oh, this man, you are less a man if you don't have a wife. um uh you might not have much respect in the society. I'm being direct now. Like I said, I don't like sugarcoating words. I'm telling you what will happen at that time, but nobody will say you will not. Unlike the women, definitely you don't have that. You don't have a choice. You are getting married. There's nothing you can say about it to stop it from happening. Unless every other man rejects you. In fact, the only way you will not get married is when you are rejected by every man running away from you. And then it's now up to your father to betroth you to another man. Most times they take care of it even when you are still a kid. So Um, so that is it. But like I said, when you look at even the downside of religion leading a society or being in charge of a society, and look at what is going on here right now in the secular world. One thing I will tell you about religion: religions wants the growth of a society in terms of um, not just prosperity, which we also experience on the secular world, but it will increase. It tries to ensure not just the longevity of that society. That's what I will tell you. That's what religion does. Your birth rate will increase. I mean, like I say, it encourages. And then another thing is sanity. All this thing I'm saying, I'm telling you, just because I'm not a religious man doesn't mean I take away the good side of religion from it. No, I will not do that. So I know the good side of religion, why religion exists, and what good things have done on society. So yeah, that's one of the things. It will ensure sanity. You have a sane society or community. Then not you could call. Trying to find a better word like than the longevity, which I'm trying to tie it to birth rate, because I know at that time almost every home, every man, on average, I'm not okay. Let's just say majority of men at that time probably have like minimum of 5 children, minimum, as it should be more. Probably at that time you are looking at about 10 or so on average, because especially when you come to a place like Igbo land at that time, I mean, who marries one wife? In fact, one good thing about paganism at that time or the Igbo traditional culture is they knew the problem of that's why they didn't even accept monogamy at that time. In fact, if you are monogamous, if you decide to have only one wife, in fact, you are basically held the same with the person who choose not to marry at all. I'm just trying to be direct now. Like I said, if you're an Igbo man, go back and most people were born and raised in the cities outside the Igbo land, so they may not know all these details, or maybe they didn't have the father to tell them these stories, or impact this knowledge, and then go back and learn. At that time, Igbo men, the ancient Igbo men or the traditional Igbo men, or during that time when there were no um, white men in Igbo land or Christianity, they knew men, biological traits in men, and also some reasons why men wouldn't want to be monogamous. So, in other words, polygamy was encouraged. In fact, if you're a polygamous man, it was normal to be polygamous. The idea of having one wife was absurd at that time, because they knew men were better, more, more, I won't say responsible, more beneficial to society to have more than one wife compared to one with one wife. I don't want to go into that. But that also encourages increase in birth rate, or the society to perpetuate, to stay and without dying off. Now, when you look at the secular world, what it encourages is I'm looking at the downside now. Apart from the good side, you could say it brings about capitalism, which has its good and the bad side. Maybe on a different video, I'll talk about that. I've done videos like that before, the good and the bad side. But secularism, what it now does is it try to encourage egalitarianism, where everybody claims to be equal and free, can do whatever you want, right? So what now it does now, it reduces birth rate. So um, people bear less children or none at all. Like I said, back then there were men who didn't marry, but now it's not even about men. Then it was only men. or very few women. I'm not even sure any woman, no matter how bad it is, because then there were proper training of girls to be wives. But now what you now do is girls to be partners with their husband, no more wives. No, it's hard now to get a mother woman that will be a wife. It's not. You can call yourself a wife, but most times they're actually not. Or while you are looking for a partner, then it was to be a wife, someone who will be submissive to the husband. But now is somebody who, before the husband says one, he has spoken ten. Decision is not even made by the man; it's the woman that make the decision. So what you now have now is, let's show them, because by the time women decide, okay, they now want to marry, because free will, right? Which secularism promotes. The birth rates keep dropping. By the time they will want to now so-called settle down, they probably can only bear one or two children, or not even at all, because biology is biology. I mean, what I mean by, I mean nature. No matter what you do, there's a time as a woman you can't bear children. There's nothing you can do about it. You hate your, if you have a if you are religious, go and hate your God for making you that way. It's not my problem. I'm telling you. But at that time in the religious society, they knew that problem exists. So from young age as a woman, immediately you are encouraged to marry, to get under your husband and start bearing children. And so there are all those things. When you look at that, you see then degeneracy. That's where I'm coming from when it comes to secularism. You know, um, in secularism, because you want everybody to be free without consequences. And what usually causes that is secularism encourages uh, weak part of the society to be the leaders that will not make the tough decision. So in that case they will keep making, there will be less restrictions, because what a woman's done, or try to live or delude themselves with the humans always think that we are different from other animals in the nature. We are not. There's no difference between us and them. But we live in that delusion, thinking that some will say it was religion that caused that delusion. Well, like I said, religion has its own created its problem too. You know, because we all believe religion will tell you that these other animals are there for you while you are godlike. So in that case, what was I even talking about? Self, trying to remember something. So anyway, if I remember, I'll continue. So apart from the religion, um, okay, the birth rate will drop in secularism, then degeneracy will go up, because everybody trying to claim a free will. You know, it shouldn't be. And then secularism, because secular world means less religion. So the laws, the policies, everything that will be done not with religious principles. So in that case, remember, religion will not allow degeneracy in the terms of sexual liberation. Religion will not allow any man to go and sleep with any woman. If you want, if you become, if your puberty sets in, and you start finding female attractive sexually, then it's time for you to marry. I can't say for a sure, or that I have statistics to back up my claim, but I know then, as a 17-year-old or 18-year-old man, you must have about two wives. I'm not joking about it. In Igbo land at that time, if you are probably, who knows, when do female puberty starts? I'm not much younger than the males, if I'm not mistaken. Probably at the age of 15, 16, you're already married, probably gotten first child. At least you are married, you already have your own house with your husband. You might not be the only wife though, because at that time, the husband, the man, once he become a young man, your father start to, inside his compound, you create your own hut for you, where you can have your own wife. so that later you can now go and get your own land once you start to gain your own resources, establish, marry. Most times, okay, I won't say 100% of the time, but most times your first wife is usually your father that will marry the wife for you, pay the bride price, do everything. So it's not necessary from you, from your own distance. But once you become your own man, the parents, your father, your mother will be the one guiding. The mother, your own mother too, will also be the one guiding your wife, teach your wife how to serve you as your husband. So eventually, by the time you now start getting your own resources, you build your own house in your own compound or something like that, then you now take over. By that time, your first wife is already a full woman. Like what I mean is can be able to take care of the compound. So even if your other wives, as you're marrying them, she is regarded as a mother in that compound. So will have that honor than other woman, other wives. The first wife always has that honor or respect as or the mother of the household of that compound. So, when you look at the two, you see secularism is just leads to. I mean, look at what's going on now. Now, back then, things that are considered abomination that are not even that are objectively reality, you can see and say you are a man, you are a woman because you have penis, she has a vagina, or this or that. Differently from childhood, that this is this is a female, this is a male. You look at other animals as well. All the animals, look at that. So this is a male goat, this is a female goat. This. For some reasons, secular world now promotes. Oh no, you can change. You can decide tomorrow all of a sudden and say, even though you have a penis, that you are a woman, and promote and make it a law. So the laws now, secular world now encourages, it reduces birth rate. You know, puts in fact, it's like I said, the stronger men were ruling. Yeah, it was more authoritarian back then. Yeah, I could say under the religious society, but secular society now is everybody, the weaker men or the weaker part of the humans, or I don't know, the weak. Don't just say the weak are not the ones ruling. They want to please everybody, so they will make the law to allow free will with no accountability or responsibility or consequences. And then, I mean, men that time willingly, I'm telling you, willingly, in the religious society back then, men that time are always ready, willing, as in that's what I'm saying. They are willing to go and fight and die so that their children and their wife will continue to exist. Every man then in Igbo land is the protector of that house. If you come in and mess up, he can kill you right there to protect his his wives and children. But now, the funny thing. Look at the world now, like what's going on in Russia, Ukraine. Remember, this is 2024, April, going on. These two countries, and what is going on in the Middle East, Israel and Palestine, this and that. And then what the almost the entire West is doing about it, the leadership of the entire world. You see, as in, they really want the world to burn, as in, look at men. I always use men for that's why I always, because men are very rational. When you see two men, their blood is boiling, getting up. You see why you see other men will immediately come and start to, cool that tension. They start cooling that tension. Right, hey, 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 it's enough. Calm down. Yes, I know you could be wrong. You could be right. It doesn't matter. Calm down. You know why? Because every man, even a boy, Every man, when he sees two boys who are boiling and getting ready to start changing their feast, I mean, knows that it could get out of hand if those two, because they know how destructive every man is, no matter how small he might lose to you. They know how destructive a man, when becomes boiled up, he can destroy a nation, everything around you. At that time, he's the monster you've been reading in the book or been hearing in the stories. Every boy, a man you see, I'm talking about a boy that is already has passed through that teenage age, and the testosterone has come. At that moment, if you see a door, see, you could see a man and see an iron door, you probably won't be able to touch it or hit it. But once he gets that thing, he can rip out that door and use it to smash other 100 men there, cut their heads off at that moment. That's what most days, women are being shielded from. Women, they don't actually understand men. That's why these days, secular world will promote you to say anything to any man, because to you, you have an agency, an institution that will not allow the man to do those things. Or what the man does, if the man boils up, what he could do to you, as in, your flesh might not even be seen. So he look at the consequences, and then most men, if they are around, they will rush and calm you down at that moment, because women don't understand men. Like, but men do understand men. That's why once men, immediately they just come, because it could get out of hand, and they knew what, even like I said, a boy of 18, you'll be surprised what he could do. My point is, when you look at what's going on now in the Western world, between, and the Middle East, where tension is high, instead of the Western leaders to see, considering the amount of weapons secularism has led these nations to acquire. I'm talking about what is it called? Nuclear atomic bomb. I don't even know the names they call it these days. That can wipe out the entire earth. But because these leaders are so weak, they don't even understand, as in knowing that these are two. Of course, the wars are being fought by men. Forget about what women are. Say, women are in the military. It's just crap. Can you handle front this thing? They panic. I mean, naturally, there are things you see, you panic. You don't even need to look at her. When there's a small problem, women tends to panic and start driving. I mean, I don't blame you for, this is who you are, your nation, you know. So you see two men fighting, and then the leaders around them, the countries around, or the West, are busy there. They are not just clapping hands, encouraging it. They are putting fire, knowing that one thing a man will not allow you to do is to defeat him. When he knows if he has anything around him, he can use, because at that moment he's in a survival mode. Anything around him, he can use. He doesn't care what it is. Even if he can grab another human being to use it to cut off your hair, he will do it and end two people at the same time. I want people to actually understand what men can be when their tension goes high, where they lose their rationality. These things are going on, instead of men around to say, hey, it's enough, calm down, let's settle this thing, let's negotiate, no, it's going to be, they are putting more fire, as if these countries, as you're expecting Russia, if you push Russia for the point that it's now into a survival mode, you think they will use that nuclear weapon? Yeah, they might die, but all of you will also die. Everybody, every pin, your child, your son, your daughter, your grandmother, everything you care of, everybody will be wiped out on this earth. On this earth. Yeah, you might have your own nuclear weapon, you kill them too, but they have enough to wipe everybody out. Why is it going on secular world? People don't, as in, that's what I'm saying. It's just when you look at secular world, be like, at some point, is it really worth it? Because the secular world doesn't encourage perpetuality, as in That's what I call degeneracy. Now, like I said, if you say you want to, you are, so for some reasons, even though you have a penis, that you are a woman, it's not just encouraged, but you will put a law where if you even say anything against it, you are likely going to be sent to prison for disagreeing that this person who originally was a man is now a woman, and you say no, I'll keep calling you a man. Is enough to put you in prison. That's secularism. And then we are losing. Your birthday is going. You get a point. You go into extinction. That society will stop to exist. Not because there is a war that came in and killed all the men and women. No, it's because once you don't reproduce, that's the end of that your society. Secularism. Secularism. So I watched this debate, what you are looking on the screen. I would like to actually call it a debate, because it was meant to be a debate, but one of the party walked away in the beginning, So you can walk down. It's between what's it called, Andrew Wilson versus and Matt Dilla Hunty. You can see the channel, YouTube channel, the Crucible. So you can go there, check it out, search for this video and watch it. You understand what I mean? You know, a Christian, I think it's an Orthodox Christian who came to argue or debate with an atheist. Because one thing I will tell you is secularism encourages atheism. But there's nothing wrong with being an atheist. But one thing I notice is extreme atheism kind of encourages what's it called? Is it nihilism? Where you find some people will be like nothing matters anymore. I mean, why do you even exist when you have no, there's nothing like you have nowhere you are going after here. So can as well just end. I mean, it means everything you are doing is meaningless. So why did you even exist in the first place? So you will have no purpose, which is the reason why I'm doing this. Religion gives men purpose. Secularism removes purpose from men. As in, it encourages, but it don't, one thing you do not want is to make men not to give men purpose in life. Back then, during the religious, when the religion was the guidance on every society at that time, most purpose for men were to raise a family, have children, provide for them, by hunting, doing all these things. Then I know in Igbo land as well, that's we have one kind sort of, you could call it a democratic setup, but it's not that what this kind of democracy we have now in other Western democracy. Far from it. That time, once you're an adult male, you have a say. You have a say. You are part of the decision making. We have something we call village assembly, where you gather to make some discussion of problems, make laws and the rest. So, and there are checks at that time. If you mess up, they will, they will bring you into in that square, public, and as a flog hell out of you. If it's a very bad offense that you committed, you'll be ostracized. You'll be chased out of society, including your family, not just you. Because what it means is you have authority over your family as a man, your wife, your children, because your wife, your children submit to you. So even if any of them go and commit very bad offense against that, is enough to chase that person out of sight, including you, not just that person, will be ostracized. You chase out of that. There are so levels of offense. Some they will excommunicate you. Nobody will be will want to. They will give out that mandate. Nobody should discuss or have anything deal with you anymore until the society, the is it the chief priest or the law is chosen, They reverse it for you, for your family. So men do not want that kind of punishment. No man wants that. Especially every man likes to be able to associate himself with, where he comes from, his identity. So they do whatever they can to not to get that kind of punishment. Now we relate it to secular society. People, like I said, they are good things, but man. So I don't want any man to. Most people might not be paying attention what's going on now. Trust me, I advise you to pay to go beyond. If you're in Nigeria, stop looking only inward because you might not exist tomorrow. So maybe you might be the one to do something about it. Something bad is going on right now in the Western world and the Middle East that can end this world all because of what? Secularism. It's not about who is right, who is false, who is this, Russia is bad, Ukraine is this. No, I'm saying it's not even about these two countries anymore. It's about other people around them putting fire as they let it keep burning. No, we want Russia to react. Knowing that these people, if we keep pushing them, because they are kind of fighting for their survival, as much as Ukraine is claiming that they are fighting for their survival. But when you actually logically look at what's going on, you know that no, it's actually Russia that is fighting for its survival, but many will not understand. That's those who don't want to, especially those who have been brainwashed. So but that's aside. But if the West, let's assume the whole Western world decide, you know what, let's keep doing that until we defeat Russia. Imagine you as a man. Let me put it the way people understand because I don't think most people do. In your house, in your compound, your neighbor for some reason is bringing enemies around. Your enemy, what I mean enemy, that wants to kill you any chance they got, or enemy one they want to, when they yeah, probably kill you as the head of the house, then come in, take all your daughters and your wife, rape them, or take them as their, turn them into their own wives and take everything in that compound, kill all your male children, take over your this, and start reaping all your resources, or you know let's say you have gold in that compound, valuable things you want to leave for your male child, or even your daughters, for whatever reason. So that your neighbor is bringing those enemy, and the neighbor knows that this particular person or persons are your as in your bad enemies. Let me just leave that one. I won't say great, because no matter what you are as a human being, you have an enemy. Might not be that bad, but you have someone who don't care, who really is not doesn't have good interest for you. Could be out of jealousy, envy, whatever. So but I was saying, in that you are in that situation, and that your neighbor keep doing that, and trying to find a way to as in keep. In fact, let me even put, it's not just one neighbor. The person, those your enemies, keep surrounding, coming, meeting with those your neighbor, all the neighbor that surround you, keep coming close, keep trying to come there and create, live there, so that they will look out for a way to target you immediately they have the chance to make sure they take you out and come in and do that thing. Until one day you say enough is enough. You see all these my enemies coming close to all my neighbors out. Then one of your neighbors suddenly become the same enemy. Even though you have no issue with that your neighbor, it became the same enemy. And is ready to also do the same thing that those your original enemies had intention. They allow those original enemies to come and use them to actually do that harm to you. And to you, you say, you know what? It's now or never. Even if you die, even if you as in you just have to do what you have to do to protect not just yourself, the people you care about that live inside that compound as well with you and everything you have. What do you think will happen if your enemy friend and the other original enemy that really want you dead succeed in keep pushing and pushing until they enter that compound to finally make sure they take you out? And you have, what do I call? Maybe you have one kind of deadly chemical. Let's use that word, chemical. You have one kind of deadly chemical or something, that this is, I mean, once they succeed in coming in, you are gone. Your loved ones are gone. Your everything you have, everything you ever strive for in life, it's gone. You think I'm not going to release that, knowing that eventually it's going to have, as in they are coming to kill you. There's nothing you can do. They'll be able to overpower you. So they are now jumping into your compound to come and do. You think you not release, even though you release that chemical, so your child will also die. What's the point? They are going to kill them anyway. Your male child, your women will be raped, doing everything, even killed after being raped and all that. You think you're not going to release that? Yes, they will die too. You will die, but every other person, even your entire village, might even die in that process. They don't, will you think you would really care about it anymore? Knowing the injustice that is being about to happen to you, you still care about every other person. Why didn't they come to to stop these other your enemies from creating this harm to you? You see, you care about them. That's what's going on now. So if you think that if the West became so successful and pushed until Russia has no other option but to release all the, how many? They say it's about close to 2,000 nuclear warheads. One nuclear bomb is enough to, Nigeria is how many now? It's probably enough to extinguish, as in everything you know about Nigeria, as in the map, will just stop it to exist. Just one, probably, maybe or two. Who knows? Three. But let's just say one is enough. And that person has about close to 2,000 of that. How many countries do you need? Everything will be wiped out. Yeah, you end up killing the person too, but you yourself will not live. That's what's going on. What I'm saying is, secularism has its ups and it has its good and sad side. But when you look, because as it is, you can, what I'm saying, those leaders there who are supposed to, because they don't care what happens to the rest of the world. Like I said, they don't even promote it. They don't even want people to. Right now, what is going on? Oh, people are. There are too many humans on the earth. They want the population of the earth to reduce drastically so that we'll have only few people. They don't care. Even if eventually it leads to the entire human race to extinct, they don't care. These are the people who are now in the seat of political positions, dishing out laws, making policies to make this their intention to become a reality. And they are the one putting fire in those conflicts going on. I don't know. I understand that even here in Nigeria, we have our own problems, this and that. But the problem going here, we are not even close to one because, like I said, if eventually we get to that point, none of us, you might think, no, it's not part, we are not part of it. You get a point, you might take a side. You must. So, which side will you take? Russian side, Western side? Both of them have nuclear weapons. So don't think that if they are sending it to the West, Russia, if you're sending weapons to the West, knowing that you also now part of the enemy, you not send one or two to you as well. And if you choose to side with Russia and the West decide, okay, let's take out Russia, since Russia is doing this, as they are sending to Russia to know that you're also part of them because you can arm yourself and come and invade them and join the fight. They will also extinguish you. That's one thing people do. So they are nothing like, look at what happened First World War, Second War. Even though these wars, especially the Second World War, or even First World War, happened where? In the West. But almost the entire world got involved. I had an uncle who was involved in, was it the First World War or Second World War? Went to the war for Nigeria. They carry all of them. Once a able man, you remember it was London. That's what I mean is had they become UK at that time, we were under colonial rule. So at that time, yeah, every able man might not be every able man. I don't know how they conscripted those men. He was part of them. He went there and fought and came back. Luckily, he was able to survive. I think it was First World War, Second World War that he did. I think First World War. No, Second World War. Can't remember. I am not used to tell us the stories then. All the way from Nigeria, he had to go to the Western world to go and fight war. He had no business with that, had nothing to do with Africans. I'm saying that people don't get it. Why secular war? If it was religious war, you could say, yeah, religion, yeah, of course, there are times they had religious war before. But like I said, when they, religion, we always want that to perpetuate. When they see that, oh, all the thing we'll be fighting for will be gone because this guy has a nuclear weapon, I have a nuclear weapon. If we both of us exchange it, then everything will be gone. No, they will want to negotiate. Because what's the point of trying to uh, uh, um, keep your lineage going when you know eventually? So everything you have to you do everything in your power to keep it running. But secular world doesn't encourage that. You know, I really wish. So yeah, if you want me, I given that option, still I won't be a religious person. No, I don't care. I'm not an atheist. You know, so all things I believe in. I'm not, don't believe in any sort of religion. But I know it's not only here. That I know why we exist here. I mean, all you need to do is, like I said, if you don't experience it, you'll not understand. As someone who have had that out of body experience 2 times, so I know exactly. We are just beings. We are just um okay, call it spirit in physical body, having this physical experience. Over after a while, we are gone where we came from. Even though I know some religion have their own different perspective on maybe your existence started here, but after you now go somewhere else. No, this is not our first experience. This is not where we started to be. As in, that consciousness did not start here. But let me leave it at that. So yeah, really, like I said, I don't say no. I would prefer religion to take over because they are better leaders. As in, yeah, I mean, I say sanity. I mean, now you can't even open your phone without one kind of notification. You also enter any social media now or something. Even who is talking about social media to go online. As you are stepping into your house, you see so many. Almost every girl now is going naked. I mean, that's what, the degeneracy, the level is just that. But everybody is now going naked in the name of what? Secular world, fashion. I mean, now, if you are not a prostitute, you're basically, you don't belong. It's what it has become now among women. Yeah, you could say, yeah, that's what is dominant in the world. But it's creeping over small, small here. If you say in Africa or Nigeria, it's not coming. You are joking. I mean, come on, it's something I see basically every day. You see, telling me. You see, our laws, they will still change. You see, become like Western world laws. You see all these things. I know now there's a law to prohibit homosexuality. Give it time. Pressure will come. Once you bow down to the Western world leadership, pressure will get a point, will come. Towards feminism, it will come in, creep in, change the law, make it official. It's not even about society that is even the problem because, like I said, I don't have problem. I don't even care about all those things. But where it will get you is by the time you walk out tomorrow, you see a man who used to be your fellow man. All of a sudden, he's wearing wig, wearing lipstick. He will tell you in his male voice, "I'm a woman now," and you ever say you must be joking? No, you are a man. up to jail. They'll go and jail you 5 years, 10 years, who knows? How dare you offend her? Say she's not what she is. Basically, it's almost, I believe, is that what's operating now in the Western world. So why won't he come here? It's just a question. Like I said, we suck up to them. I mean, almost everybody living Nigeria now in the name of, what's it called? Japai. They're moving to the west, not to the east. That at least have some sane communities. No, everybody moving to the west. Why? Secular world, where everything is free, can be anything, can do anything. Because of course, capitalism will. Let me not leave that. Let me go leave that subject. Make people. So it's coming. Can it be stopped? Yes. But at the rate this is going, I mean, come on, all you need to do is change, make men weaker. Eventually, you find people that will vote in people that will go and change that law. Yeah, right now is a law in Nigeria, all those things. But like I said, all you need is they keep doing this so-called democracy until a point you will get some politicians will get voters who will be able to vote them, weak politicians that will vote them in to go and make change those laws. That's how it started in the West. When immediately they left religion stop being uh, the core principle of their laws, or their leaders choose to. Because right now, what we have over there, they are no longer religious. It's only on the book they will tell you they're religious. Look at their action. Look at the policies they encourage to pass or to even bring up. None of them is anything religious. So secular world is just, I mean, I'm not religious, not a Christian, not anymore. But come on, go and read the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And look at what's going on in the secular world. Tell me what's different. Eventually, it will destroy itself. It happened in Roman Empire. I mean, yeah, originally Roman Empire, Rome was a religious country. They have their gods and everything. They had, because of that, like I said, religion creates strong men. Create patriotism in men to protect what they have, explore and get more resources. So what happened? They started exploring, gathering, became an empire until they became secular. Put weak people in the leadership, and Rome fell. So is it going to happen? Like I said, Rome is the closest example for people to see. Those who don't really know the Roman history, Roman Empire history, just go and look it up. So yeah, I'll prefer when I mean religion. Some might say Christianity. No, it's not really about Christianity. I mean, because other religion, most are, as long as you trade with each other during that time. Talking about in the past, Igbo land. I mean, just Igbo people were trading with other tribes, even though they were all have their own religions. They didn't force. No, you must practice my own religion. We'll invade you to convert you to that. No, so it doesn't mean they can't coexist, but there be. Okay, look at even right now where you don't have Sena communities, Sena societies, are Islamic countries, not the Western where we practice. Christians have been invaded, and I mean, now we have female pastors. Come on, when you look at Christian doctrines, the head is the God, Christ, right? Followed by Jesus, no, followed by the husband who emulate Christ. Then the wife emulates, because the husband takes authority from Jesus. Then the wife submit to the husband. Likewise, the children submit to the wife and the husband. That's the structure. But now, hey, it's partnership. I mean, these days, can you even say call it partnership? The wife basically the head. I mean, all you need to do is let her make money more than you do. You are fucked. So yeah, when you look at the Islamic countries that still use I mean Islam as their laws or something. Yeah, better. They have more population than we do. They bear children. They do all these things. They make sure their society continues. Yeah, they will tell you, yeah, women are being oppressed and all those things. Who told you? They are happier than we are. Forget all these stupid ones on the media shouting. Of course, some are working, doing some other these things, but then there are structures. They have rules that are even more tougher because that's what I'm saying. It's every man is just like the same thing you see in the wild between other animals. But these are the laws. These laws are what stop men from acting on those impulses. Nothing stop a man from coming and see another man with something he likes, a property or a wife that he finds sexy, and then he kills that man, take over the wife, carry the wife, and or take the property. Nothing stop a man from doing that. Yeah, I could say principles depending on how you were raised. But then the laws put in place checks those things. So yeah, I really because see this thing called secular government now that's nonsense, which only exists in secular societies anyway. So when you look at the law, you could see it just yeah. I'm not saying they allow criminality, secular world, no. But when you look at other things, you see that at the end of the day, it increases criminals. In all these religious communities, you barely will hear, oh, this person stole something because you know your hand could be cut off. Strict punishment. They could cut off your hand for go and stealing another man's cow. Or it could be ostracized. No man wants that. Go to China. I'm not saying they are a religious society. I don't know. I've not been there. I haven't read much. No, I'm following them a little. But then they have a strict law. If you are found corrupt, embezzle public fund, you are killed. Nobody. No, it's not about going to jail to go and stay there as give you a special cell. You'll be living off your wealth there. No, you are executed. So what does that do? It's a deterrent. Once you know that no, your money will not get you out of this. It's complete there. As in, boom, you are gone. Everybody stays out. That's why China is doing better than most of, I mean, even the Western world, if not all. That's why they have the money. They are almost the richest. You mess up, you come to Nigeria. Hi, come on. You can embezzle public fund, do everything. Even if you are caught, you can get the best lawyer, do all these things. Whatever, you exchange money some hands and you get scot free. Over there, you as a lawyer will be so scared because if they find that or maybe witness that somebody attempt to bribe you, you too will join the execution. So I want to understand that the secular world will not want you to do that. The full secular world. Not saying China is a religious country. No, I'm saying at least they still kept some of those their religious principle or cultural traits or they understand certain things and say, okay, in as much as probably we might still be secular world or still have some part of it we are practicing. But we have to keep some of it because this that kind of rule is more like religious. You might say, but God doesn't. God says, forgive. Last time I checked, there was nothing nice or kind about Christianity. Oh, forget all this bullshit. People say, forgive and do all those things. Let me recite. Can I? I don't know if I remember some of the Bible quotations because I know almost all through the Bible, at least this, the New Testament. Everything, every time Jesus opened his mouth, most time you hear, "Woe betide you." Does that sound nice to you? Woe betide you. He was busy. Sometimes you look as if he was even cursing some, was cursing some people. Oh, you this, oh, doing that thing, you'll be in the hell, pit of hell, gnashing your teeth. Oh, you're going to suffer. Does that look nice? Was oh, you mean Christianity is about kindness, nice, and yet if you offend, You have a pit of hell where you are going to suffer eternally. How nice does that sound? The same Jesus that took a cane and entered the synagogue or wherever can start to beat hell out of people. Somebody say, oh, but he didn't beat them, he didn't flog anybody, they just ran away. Come on, you took a cane and came in. What do you think that will make people to flee and leave all this thing as he was turning tables with money? Leave your money with you. If you didn't kill one or two people and the rest took off. Being too nice is what secularism promotes. That's why people are messing up because hey, do not judge me. Yeah, Christians say don't judge. But you are being judged by say being a sinner. You've been told already. So what are you saying? Like I said, I don't want to go into like Christianity or sometimes some of the this thing because I could see a lot of contradictions with people, which like say pisses me off because I was like, why am I the only one seeing these things? You're not being judged. Why are you going to hellfire? Why are you being told? I don't know. People will not understand. Let me not go far into that. Anyway, but then they will tell you, oh, no, no, the judgment is for God. Then why will you come to me and say, God say you should repent because you have been a sinner? If you have not judged me, how did you know? Because you saw that I was doing something against God's this. So you judged that I was doing something wrong. So you judged me already. But hey, I'm still okay with religion ruling. Yeah, it might not be I have also called freedom as I used to, but there will be sanity. I don't need to have my own child. At least I know, hey, Igbo people will continue to live. Nigerians will continue to exist. So many things. So life will continue even when I'm gone. Human life. So, but now, no, yeah, I will choose. So when you compare religion versus secularism, no, I will choose religion to lead. I'm not saying I will choose to become part of. No, I'll say to lead. So I'll be happier living in a religious controlled place than in a more secular place. The only thing I would say, yeah, I know maybe if religion was in charge up till now, would there be cars? Because the only thing I love, in fact, to tell you the truth, the primary thing why well, what the primary thing I enjoy being in a secular place is cars. I love cars. I'm a car person. So maybe the religious society or law probably may not allow science to go to the point they will start building cars. It's possible. So in that case, I probably will not. It's one of the things I will lose. You know, and maybe not. Maybe religion probably will not be against it. I mean, the cars they are even trying to destroy cars anyway. So who am I even fooling? Secular world self not even is they are even saying no to cars by so-called going green. I mean, come on, if you take a battery and put in a car and tell me it's a car, you call it a car, but I mean, men like us, we know why we go for cars, why we are car person, not because it's too fast or all those things, the sound, the smell, the way the car. Okay, so I think I'm done. So this particular video that is on the screen, which is meant to be an debate between a religious person and an atheist, was what actually made me inspire me to do this video. You know, atheism is not that bad, but what I let me put okay the final okay let me just end this with this. Humans can't do without a sort of religion or secularism where some will have to be few will have to be the one leading because there's nothing you can do about it. Majority of humans are cheap. Only few are cheaper. I can't stop this from happening. Even though look at other animals, you must the majority will always be the followers. That's what I mean by sheep. They just have to they only feel better about themselves when they listen to other people they look up to, teach them, tell them this is the best thing to do, this is not the best, so they follow that person. So there's nothing you can do about, you can't stop it. The best, that's what I'm saying. At that time, philosophy at that time were trying to spark those few, to start early, to start using their critical mind, because they need to be able to lead. Because even the way you come, it's just like go to church and preach. Out of the 1,000 in that church, the rest are just following what the preacher is saying, verbatim to verbatim. But very few will have questions in their mind. Yes, I understand this. You are saying that. I understand Jesus said that. I understand the Bible said that. I understand the preacher is saying this. But what? But I have a issue with what you said here. I have issue with what the Bible said there. That's what I'm saying. Out of the 1,000, only very five probably may have critical, because they are looking at it critical, not just verbatim what you are saying. Literally, no. They are also having some time. I'm not saying I'm still a Christian, but this makes no sense. So in that case, yeah, that sheep, the sheep will benefit more under the or religious leadership than the secular one, because the secular one will lead to the sheep extinction. Yeah, it might sound very good, it might look so free to them, but it will lead them to destruction, and they will end up and they will all vanish. While the Christian race, yeah, it might not be, a comfortable, being a follower might not be that too comfortable under Christian religious leadership. But at least you still grow, you have your family, it gives you a purpose. Gives you a purpose. What you do not want, I will say it again, is to take away purpose from every man, or majority of man. I'm talking about the sheep now. Remember what I said when two men are boiling or about to fight. If you take away a man's purpose, they have no other reason to exist. They will become, you will be, even if you like, unleash policemen on them. They will destroy everything on their way as they are going down. Everything, yeah, you kill them, they make sure all the stations, they will burn the country. So by the time you start making some men, okay, secular world, there's no point to exist, since I'm not going to heaven when I live here, or I don't have any, I can't get married because women now are costly to get married to, because they are demand, since all of them are also making money. Unlike before, where only men makes most of the money. So, and there's enough money to be able to start a family and take care of our family. But now they are making money as well, like me. So because of that, they set up their standard higher. Even though I'm making money, but the standard they now set up is something I can't attain, because they now look for one people who makes more than I do. Unlike before, that what I do is enough to even do everything to make them happy. But now I can't, because they're looking for their standard now is only for those very few. Billionaire, no, it's no longer millionaire. I mean, million naira now is nothing else. It's nothing. So you take away that purpose, and they'll be like, okay, what's the point? Some might go crazy. Some might become nihilistic. What do they call it? There's no purpose. So why bother to try to grow? Once it's all for nothing. That's what I'm saying. That's what you do not want to do. Turn a society where men will have no purpose. People like me, yeah, like I said, I do not find purpose in having a family. But I find other things where I say, okay, these are my purpose, these are the reasons, this is what takes in me that want me to keep existing, to want me to keep doing things, to get more resources so I continue to pursue or live up that purpose. Don't take that because, like I said, not every man will be able to figure out something else out of having a family. People like me probably could. Not every man. So if you take away that this thing, make it the bad to the point that it's very difficult for them now. So what's the point without having a family? What's the need for every other thing? Because that's a biological need most men have. Almost every man have that, but like I said, sometimes we'll be like, okay, you know what? I can rewire my brain and choose something else. Because biologically, every man wants to have something to provide for, to protect. That's our need. That's why even every man you see is going out, he sees somebody weaker, a girl, a woman that is being maltreated, or you will intervene as in instinctively, immediately you want to protect that person. Even though he knows not, he doesn't know the purpose, he doesn't even know what's going on, but at least no, this person is weaker. You want to protect that person, at least at that time. He might even end up losing his life doing that. It's something in us we can't change. You call it biology if you want, but it's nature, it's male. Look at lions. Just go to look at life in the pride while you oppress. So if you take that purpose away, that society will be doomed. Even if comes up between one nation and the other, you will see that your men will be very weak. They can't be able to defend your nation because they don't have any purpose. I mean, imagine where majority of men probably can't get married because standard have been set up so high they can't maintain a family, and then there's a war between your nation and another nation. You want them to go and fight and die to protect your. What's the point? You can force them to go to the forefront. They will tell them, I mean, you make it easier for them to even leave this place. What's the point? You can also kill them. Not gonna put up that have that patriotic mind to go and at least down 2 or 3 people before they are killed. They will probably go there, throw their gun and say, hey, just have your way immediately. Let me leave this. I've been looking for a way to commit suicide. So what's the point? That's what I mean. So this particular video, you know, it puts so many things in perspective, but not everybody understand. Some might argue the way Andrew handled it was not that good. But like I said, there was nothing nice or good about or kind about Christianity. Even when you follow what Jesus teaches, or even look at how he lived. Of course, it doesn't mean all the time it was mean or everything, but I'm saying if you actually read the Bible, how he, during his time, yeah, you could tell, man, it wasn't, it was an asshole. Yeah, it was an asshole. He didn't care. Yeah, he was doing good, but then it doesn't mean he was making his words very nice so that when you hear it, hey, he's a very nice man. No, he's telling you right there. If you continue this life, you are going to burn in the hell. You are going to dog will eat you. You will die rotting and everything. Dog will eat your flesh. Does that sound nice?